time for a little investigation here then. What I've just done is I've used a drill just here to check if it's good metal in there, and you can see in there that that is actually decent metal that I was drilling at the top. So now I'm just going to use my flap disc to find good margins for all this rust, and then we'll draw some sort of reasonable line, and then we'll cut. And this is the section that we have to make our new panel out of. Most importantly, it's got this curved end here with the return on, because for me to do that is difficult because I don't have a stretcher machine to make this curve, so it'll all end up ruckled up if I did it. So yeah, we got this, although it isn't quite tall enough to reach here, so we'll have to add a little extra piece. We'll probably be cutting a little section off the back here, so we'll move that to there, and then we'll have enough to cover up as high as we need to go. So let's do some grinding and cutting. Nice section removed there then. While we're here, last time I was talking about welding that tab onto the inner sill. You can see with removing that piece of quarter panel, you would be able to get in there with your MIG welder and get some welds on there. So an option. Anyway, now time to template that over onto our steel, and then we'll be able to make this weld. We'll have to be really careful that we don't warp this. Okay, first rough trim cut done, and I've cut out this little piece, which is a little bit oversized at the moment, but he'll go there. So I just need to weld those two bits together, and then I can start working on making this actually fit. So we have that. You can see we've probably got 5mm too much all the way along. Don't know if you can see that. Also, I don't need to come this long, so we'll probably trim that a bit. Anyway, adjustments to be made after welding that. So I'm going to find out how much I can cut off this. I've got some red paint. I'm just going to scrape the red paint up the inside of this line all the way along here, and then we'll fit the panel up, and it will leave a witness line on the back, and we'll know roughly how much I can cut off as a first stop. So a little bit of red paint on there. Time to lay the panel on and see what happens. It's not the best line anyone's ever seen, but it gives a little bit of an idea of how close I can get. So we'll trim a bit. Getting this in slowly. You can see I've done this part. I've got a few tacks along here. I've also done this section at the end here. So got to let it cool a bit in between, although it is about -4 out here at the moment. Anyway, let's cut back when we've got it all done. Sorry, forgot to grab a shot before I reached for the spray can, but here it is welded onto the bottom of the quarter panel all the way. I think it's good enough. I just need to do the spot welds down onto the floor or sill. You can see in here, actually this top line here is the thickness of the red paint, and then this is the weld line here, so it's not too bad. There you go. You can see the weld marks here. Skimmer filler, we'll get that sorted. So pretty happy that that quarter panel is now repaired. I'm fairly sure it's fine along the top here. And obviously we sorted out that corner before. Next job is up under here for this car. I think we're going to remove that shock and all the rest of the parts that are under here best we can, and see what needs to be done to the inner wing and how far we've got to go with that. Obviously the main area is just there, so we'll be putting in at least the bottom section of that, well, and all the way up this hinge panel. That closing panel in there I plan to take out, so I just need to work out what methods I'm going to use, and then we can get on with fixing this. There's a hole, nice hole up here, you can see. I think it goes probably rotten above that closing panel. Is probably rotten on the flitch, so I'm not sure about the scuttle. I'm hoping to get away with it. I don't see any bubbles here. We'll have to investigate a bit more. Got these pieces of ducting removed, and also up in there the 4 little nuts, one of which is right up at the back there in the top corner behind the pipe. Got those taken away, so they're there, nuts there. Not easy to get them off. Anyway, now we are just, I've removed the shock absorber, just taking out the shock mount. So who's excited to see what it looks like behind there? Let's wait and find out. I'll just get the 2 remaining bolts out from the top there. Here we go then. So we've got a hole all the way around, but also a hole through the inner skin there as well. So yeah, definitely a repair. Maybe it'll be in 2 halves, the lower half and the upper half. Depends whether it's rusty behind that middle section there. Probably will be, so it might just be one big rectangle. Also, always worth checking, around here they like to crack. Not sure it is actually cracked, so that's good. If it is, you just need to weld that up. Often you get a crack forming there on all of these minis, especially the later ones with the bigger wheels. So that's exciting. And annoyingly, just here, the bump stop just fell off. Here it is. The rubber's just come away from the metal, even though it looked like it was in fair condition. I guess it's just come unglued. So I'll have to try and remove that disc from the bottom of the subframe there. Lots of cleaning up to do in here as well, because it's pretty grim. But yeah, so we know we've got a repair up here, and I'm going to definitely cut into this closing panel and look above that, and then we'll have to see what else. Right at the front over here, I think we're going to have this front panel off and repair the front of the inner wing, because you can see that yeah, there you can see the metal is not brilliant and splitting into layers of rust. So we'll probably have the front panel off completely, which will be fun. Anyway, so that's going to be one of the next jobs, sorting out that hole. Always a delight then when you find a nice new hole like this one. It's totally expected though, to be honest.
I would strongly suggest, if you are doing any restorations on a Mini, even if it's just replacement front wings, take that shock absorber mount off, and if you're very lucky you won't have a hole, and you can put some extra rust protection paint, etc. in between, because they didn't put hardly anything between the shock mount and the actual inner wing when they built these cars. Right, thanks for watching. Sorry it's a short one, but next time we'll be doing inner wing and flitch work.